everybody, and welcome to Hyperfixnation. My name is McKenna, and I am with my two co-hosts, Bailey and Kaden. Let's get into it.
Well, yeah, all right. Welcome to Alien
Woo,
Week.
Alien Friday!
Yeah.
Just out of pure coincidence, we just happened to watch all of us 2 different Alien movies this week. So it's Alien Week.
If not more.
Yeah.
I don't know what Marcel the Shell is. Maybe an alien. I don't know.
Legit might be.
But I just wanted to start the episode real quick. This isn't on our schedule, but I just wanted to give a special thanks to everyone that checked out the episode last week and let us know that they checked it out.
Thank
I
you
just
so
wanted
much.
to thank everybody who did that.
Wait, people actually listen
Yes,
to
it means
us?
a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. Keep pestering your friends to make them listen. I pestered one of my friends into listening to the first episode just today. So, yeah.
We like all of our people interacting with us if possible, just reaching out, telling us what they think.
We've even had offers from people who want to guest on the show. So look forward to that.
Yeah, on YouTube,
Yes, exactly.
write comments. I would love to reply to you.
Like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to smash that bell. Don't forget so you're notified of every podcast.
Yes, exactly.
So Bailey, I believe in our little pre-show schedule, you had something you wanted to bring up.
Yes, kind of just... I wanted to get your entire thoughts on the entire Warner Brothers situation. For those... I'm going to discuss it a little bit for those who don't know, so we can discuss it right after. But for those who don't know, Warner Brothers this past week, Warner Brothers Discovery, I'm not sure exactly what they go by, they decided to completely cancel a completely filmed movie, Batgirl, and let's just say their CEO has said lots of different things, as well as just made a few different decisions that I kind of want to get your thoughts on. Firstly, Batgirl, I guess. Because I feel like most people here were excited for.
I was really excited.
I would feel like we were a bit excited because me and Kaden here love Brendan Fraser. I'm not sure your thoughts.
I love Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the Renaissance. We were supposed to be in the era of Brendan Fraser's return after Hollywood was just fucking awful to him. It's just This was supposed to be his, obviously he has other movies coming out with The Whale and other stuff like that.
Exactly.
But this was a superhero movie, which proves that you are a big enough actor to be in the public conscience, you know?
Exactly. Plus I think the other actors and performers in that film really deserve the praise for going through this really shitty situation. I mean, like, Leslie Grace, I only saw her first in West Side Story, which I loved her, and she did really great. But then she was in this, and I was very excited to see her entire thing. You know, a person of color playing one of the Bat family is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Plus a trans actress, I believe, was going to play one fairly leading role as well, and I'm just sad to see those.
It must be crushing as like the people who made it, like the director, the producer, like everyone part of that movie, just having it so close to being done, and then just nothing comes out of it. No one's able to see your movie.
Like it's really sad from the way I saw it. I personally want to go into making movies, and the thought that a studio could take a movie that I had been working on for years and just go, never mind. Like, just rip it away is kind of insane, honestly.
It's really sad.
What's even more crushing is that they apparently, saw the movie, they knew what it was, and they just thought it wasn't good enough, pretty much.
Like, the movie's basically finished. It's like, it probably would have taken another 2 to 3 weeks to just finish and just polish up, and then it would have, like, it's especially funny to me because last month they did a few pre-showings to the movie, and reviews were positive. Like, they said, really? Lots of people said they really loved the movie, but then just right out of the blue after this week, they were like, no, the reviews and stuff have been like super negative and stuff, and I'm like, that seems like a very strange twist. Yeah, exactly.
That is weird.
Just feels like they're covering themselves on this stuff.
I think I know why they canceled that one in particular.
Why?
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's because it was supposed to have it was supposed to have Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah.
And I think they are scrambling to make their universe right now. They don't know what they're going to do. They probably want to start a new Batman, and they're worried because they already have the Batman with Robert Pattinson. But they know everyone doesn't want that to tie into any other superheroes. Yeah. So they're like, well, what do we do now? Well, let's start by getting rid of Michael Keaton because he doesn't even want to be here. He doesn't want to be in any movies. He just wants to go home.
Yeah, it's just really strange because I feel like that's a very big reason. But it's also like the reason, like, they could have at least just released it and then have said non-canon or something like that, I feel like. But I feel like another large reason is just money, I feel like. Because... yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, the film cost $90 million, I believe. And that is a lot of money. But, like... considering how many fans of this character, I feel like they're just making a stupid decision. Plus, it's just, again, talking about the filmmakers, by the way, their names are Adil El Arbi and Bilal
that's
Fallah.
the director, right?
Those are the two directors. I'm sorry if I pronounced them wrong, but...
No, it's all good. I learned today that one of the directors is the guy who directed all of Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
So
and
I just
also that's the best part.
Good on that guy for being able to bridge the gap to both
also,
DC and Marvel. Only
the directing between of Miss Marvel is one of the best parts, which is awesome. And it's just sad to see.
I didn't watch it.
I haven't watched it either.
It's just sad to see. Plus, in general, Warner Brothers and stuff, they've been making stupid decisions, such as their CEO, David Zaslav, I believe is how his last name is pronounced,
something like that,
has said multiple things recently about animation only being for children, which is a stupid thing to say.
You literally own Adult Swim.
Exactly.
What are you saying?
Yeah, it's just...
You own Adult Swim. You're paying for, like, Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is one of their biggest properties right now. Warner Brothers, as a whole, like, if you look at what makes the most money, I don't know this for a fact. I'm completely talking out of my ass. But I'm sure it's, like, Harry Potter, obviously, and then, like, Lord of the Rings, superheroes. And Rick and Morty has got to be
I'm sure
up
they
there.
make so much
and
money
if it's
off
not,
of their
then why is it in
their
every
animation?
store, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird, because, like, all of us here hate the stupid... animation is only for kids. It's such a stupid thing that's been used these past forever. But not only that, have they said, but like this stuff about different streaming services being more male skewn and one being more female skewn. It's just I'm very glad to see course. Like I hope all of the lower down people in the company are doing all right, and like the lower filmmakers. Yeah. But it does make me a little bit happy to see that their stock is going down after these past few days.
Boy. Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, McKenna, do you have anything to say about it?
Crazy thing.
What I don't get is that I thought the Flash movie was it going to come out before Batgirl, right? The Flash is going to come out before Batgirl.
It was supposed to.
It was.
And the Flash has Michael...
Actually, yeah.
The Flash has Michael Keaton in it. And then the Batgirl's Michael Keaton in it. I thought it was like a continuation of sorts after the Flash movie.
It was supposed to be.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
And
it was supposed to be. That's
also
why the Flash was supposed to set up the new Batgirl. It was supposed to set up a new Supergirl movie, all of which are canceled.
Which is
and
also
canceled. It's thrown out the window, and it's like a big mess.
Because HBOmax is for boys.
Wait, hold on a second.
Blue for boys and pink for girls.
Exactly.
Is Smiling Friends on
It is on HBOmax.
It is?
That's
not going anywhere, is it?
No. It made lots of money.
Yeah, and plus that's an Adult Swim thing. That's not...
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It just goes on to HBOmax.
Also, I believe tomorrow night, Smiling Friends Go to Brazil comes out.
Yo, exciting.
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
So, next week...
It'll be already released.
We could even do like a special... Like, we could even do a special mini-sode because I think we are all very...
It will be, for our viewers, for our viewers, it will have already been released.
Yeah, it'll already be released. We're recording this on Friday, so, but, I wanted to make a point that I think Batgirl is obviously heart-shattering because of Brendan Fraser and everyone involved. But the one that I think is just a little bit sadder, and it's not something I want to compare, but the fact that they canceled the Scoob spinoff is bad. Yeah. Okay, because it was almost done, just like Batgirl. Mm-hmm. But think of how much more time it takes for an animated movie to be almost done, and how much work and labor went into that.
Darn.
And how many of those animators were probably waiting on that movie to come out to get more pay. Yeah. So now they're getting paid less because their movie didn't come out.
Well, did you hear about
more respect to the
idea
animators
in a way? Did you hear their idea in a way about getting rid of like the bad ones and only putting out quality stuff?
Yeah, no, it's stupid. It's just
what does that mean?
Very feels like corporate greed in my opinion, and it's just a very shitty subject.
The thing is that art is subjective.
Exactly.
What you might think is bad might not be bad to other people. Other people, thousands of people might enjoy it, except you might not like it. Well, then 1,000 people might not not like one thing, but then one person does. It's subjective.
Yeah,
if we only picked movies on what earned the most amount of money, we wouldn't get some of the best movies. I mean, look at this. Just this year, in my personal opinion, as well as a few others here, the best movies of the year have earned like just barely over $100 million, like Everything Everywhere All at Once. Amazing movie.
Which I saw for the first time this week, by the way, and that shit smacks. That was like one of the best movies I've seen in a while.
Exactly.
I want to go into it. I want to talk so much about it.
We'll save it.
I want to go see it again.
We'll save it for a later
before I talk about it more.
For a later
but
date.
We're gonna have a later episode focusing on A24.
Exactly.
We're gonna save that for later. But I wanted to say this all reminds me. This Warner Brothers CEO basically shooting himself right in both feet reminds me a lot of Disney's past with CEOs. Mm-hmm. I study this a lot because Disney means a lot to me. But there's been multiple times throughout Disney history where a CEO will do something that is just completely tone deaf just because he wants money and thinks he knows what people want. Like, obviously right now, Disney's going through that with the parks.
Yeah.
That's why the Disney parks, the cost is going up to go, but the quality of everything is going down, and that's why I think Universal is a little bit better than Disney right now, but I don't want to get into it. A big example is the People Mover at Disneyland. Michael Eisner, a former Disney CEO, said, "This park isn't entertaining enough. We need more thrill rides." So he turned a nice relaxing ride into a thrill ride, which destroyed the ride foundation, making the ride unable to operate. So that's why there is a ghost of a ride just hanging above Tomorrowland pretty much. So it's just the greed of CEOs that think they know what people want, but really are just doing everything that nobody wants.
Yeah.
And of course I compare it to Disney because that's just what I'm familiar with, but
It's just
Do you think if we bully them enough,
who knows?
they'll do something?
I mean,
shit.
Hopefully.
We just need the Snyder fans' help. God. They can't be real. They have to be like a computer program,
basically.
A computer AI.
Anyways.
It's just a bunch of bots.
That's probably about enough of that subject, just so we can get enough time to talk about our Alien Day, I guess.
Yes, Alien Day. Woo! Alien episode.
Wow.
So, which silly alien movie would we like to talk about first? I think last episode we ended the whole episode with our Muppets discussion. Yeah. So I think this episode we should end with Signs, and we should talk about Nope
I
first.
feel like ending our stuff with the
weekly
movie is a good idea.
This is our spoiler discussion.
Right
just
now,
quick reviews, what we thought.
I will say,
okay.
I love this movie so much. Like, probably way too much, but it's super good. Mm-hmm. It's probably Jordan Peele's most thematically rich movie. It's really good. It's really well filmed, really well edited, especially the sound design and the score, absolutely brilliant. All of it's just fantastic. And if you love Peele's previous movies, you'll love it. If you love more kind of thriller movies rather than scary movies, you'll love it. All of it. So good. I love it.
Yeah. McKenna, what are your thoughts on it? Like,
I like it. The first time I saw it, no spoilers, the ending I was like, that's kind of weird. The second time I saw it, I liked it a lot more. And the music is slapping. It's great music.
Yeah.
I want to talk about spoilers so much.
I have a rule
so
with
badly.
music and movies where if I notice the score being good, then I know it's a good score.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, because when I'm like, hey, this song kind of goes. This is kind of schmacking right now. Like,
yes,
obviously the Batman, which is the best movie score of all time.
I love, yeah.
But yeah,
this one's really good.
This score was so good. I had to Google it to see if Michael Giacchino did it.
No, it's another Michael though. It's Michael Abels,
really?
Yeah, who did the same
yeah.
score for Us, which also has a really good score as well.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's very good.
So my thoughts on the movie was I thought it was amazing. I thought the end was not like, I don't know. Obviously, it had to take place during the day, the final act.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that it took place during the day.
Yeah.
I didn't like how the guy in our theater at the end yelled out pretty much, well, that ending sucked! Like, nobody cares,
we had Statler and Waldorf here in our movie theater.
We really did. It was
great.
Mystery Science Theater 3000
so
in our own theater.
I will say, watching it a second time around definitely improves the ending.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, there's very few movies where when I watch them, I go, I need right now to see as much as I can of this director's other work.
Yeah.
One of those movies was Grand Budapest Hotel. I watched that and I was like, I gotta see all of Wes Anderson's shit. He has a lot of shit. I'm still getting through it. But this, I was like, I need to watch Jordan Peele's other movies.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotta watch him.
Good. You should,
it's really
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone who hasn't seen it, I will absolutely recommend to go watch it. It's amazing.
Please,
Everyone, I will say, if you're a bit, if you're not that into gore,
are you afraid of chimpanzees?
Oh.
Are you afraid of chimpanzees? Do not see the film.
That's fair.
Like, that's really the only thing. Like, it obviously, all the ads basically say it's about aliens.
It is
like,
and more.
If you're afraid of aliens, you won't be afraid.
It is and more.
Yeah.
I never thought...
And more, obviously.
Yes, exactly. And, okay, yeah, just basically go and see it if you haven't. It's really good.
Please. In my opinion, this is the first time a movie that isn't a Marvel movie has felt like a summer blockbuster movie. Right? Like, it feels
really
like
has.
a summer movie,
All right.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's... For the past fucking decade, it's been like, hey, did you see Iron Man? And it's like, I did. What a good summer this is. Whoa!
Kaden, way to start off with the first MCU movie as the big blockbuster.
I don't know. I just was like, what first?
Avengers?
Yeah. I looked at my Legos and I saw Wolverine and I was like, you're not.
You're not. But yeah. It's
hey,
really good.
Have you seen Logan in theaters?
I looked to my left and I saw Wolverine. I looked to my right and I saw Daredevil. And I'm like, none of these guys are summer movies or Marvel movies. But,
yeah.
So we are now going to get into spoilers, right?
Anyone who has
spoilers,
anyone who has not seen the movie,
please skip to this timestamp that will be inserted here.
44 minutes and 47 seconds.
All right, so spoilers. Gordy did nothing wrong.
Yes, very true.
Free Gordy. Free Gordy.
Free Gordy.
You can't really free a monkey whistling through a hole in his head.
Oh,
but, yeah.
Poor guy.
Anyways,
poor guy. I wanted to ask you guys if you could take, like, what are your thoughts on, like, the themes of this movie? Because obviously it's super thematically rich. And, like, one thing that's insane, I've watched so many different video essays on this movie. Like, all of them are, like, super long and stuff. Each one has had a different way of taking the film and taking all the different stuff. And each different video, I'm like, wait. That's completely true. That's exactly how the movie is as well. Wait, how am I? How is this so?
I texted you last night, Bailey, about what I kind of analyzed the movie to be. So I have not seen any other Jordan Peele movies, but I'd always heard the joke is like, oh, you just have to look with like basically a regular piece of glass to search for the hidden messaging. Yeah. What's nice about this one is obviously with that mindset, I was like, I wonder what the secret, like, political-ish message is going to be. And it didn't really hit you on the head too hard with it.
Yeah.
It just felt like a good movie. But once I sat and I thought about it, right? I thought, what was the point of the Gordy scene? Why did he put that there? I thought about this. Let me pull up the exact words I sent to you last night, Bailey. You guys can talk about whatever while I'm pulling this up.
I'll go on my personal thing. See, I personally think...
Yeah, and then McKenna...
Yeah, I personally think the entire thing with Gordy and the entire way relates to Jean Jacket is Hollywood and just a general way that we mistreatment of animals and just like not trusting them, not knowing exactly how they work. Because our lead protagonists are, of course, the horse people in the industry, and obviously they know
Horse boy and horse
exactly
girl.
played by Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer, who do great. And they're
Keke Palmer from Jump In.
Exactly.
I looked at
exactly.
her, my face dropped, my mouth dropped when I looked at her letterbox like history, and I was like,
and see,
holy shit!
The reason
from Corbin Blue from Jump In.
And see, the reason they're the protagonists is because one, they know exactly or at least Daniel Kaluuya does. They know how to handle animals. They know exactly what's dangerous. They know all that sort of different stuff, and that's what ties in Gordy to this scene. Is like, there was nothing wrong with Gordy. He, like, one thing that Stephen Yeun's character, Jupe, is what he goes by in the movie, one thing his character says is the monkey just hit his limit. But that's not what happened. What happened is they didn't know exactly what they were supposed to do, and so something went off that triggered him, that triggered Gordy, the monkey, into this fit of wildness, into this fit of rage, because he's not an animal that can just be tamed and trained. He's a wild animal that deserves his own respect, and that's what ties it into Jean Jacket, is because Jupe, who should have learned from this experience as a kid how to treat animals, he doesn't learn. So he doesn't know how to treat to treat this alien, Jean Jacket.
I hadn't thought about that.
He doesn't know how to treat the alien
from Gordy.
And how they deserve respect, exactly, because that's what he was trying to do for these past 6 months, and feeding it horses and getting this entire show. But you can never expect what a wild animal will do, and it's not their fault, because that's just what they are, and that's my personal interpretation, or at least my favorite interpretation of the entire Gordy to Jean Jacket kind of thing, and it's just
also. Tying into that, it also kind of shows how selfish we are as humans, thinking that we are above all those creatures and stuff, not giving them respect, and that we think that just because this one bad thing happened doesn't mean that I can now do it because I've learned, but really you haven't, is that you're just selfish and narcissistic thinking that you can do it. In reality, you can't.
It's like, I saw this, I can figure this out, I got
Another thing is with that is how they use them as this thing to put up on a pedestal and be like, hey, look at this. It's so much fun. It brings us entertainment. The entire...
Making a show.
The entire spectacle aspect, which is a huge theme of the movie, is spectacle and stuff like that.
Yeah. Calling Jean Jacket the viewers in his show is very much in that type of, this is entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to talk about how I kind of analyzed the film. So I haven't seen Jordan Peele's other movies, but I know they focus a lot on the topic of race, or at least Get Out does, obviously.
Us does as well.
I don't know if Us... Yeah, I figured, but the way I kind of analyzed it, and I thought of it kind of as the Gordy incident kind of representing how African Americans are treated in the United States versus Jean Jacket being how white people are treated in the United States. And I know how bad it sounds that I am comparing the story of a chimpanzee to African Americans. Not like that.
I've seen other people compare it.
Don't cancel
I've seen other people compare it as well.
Yeah. So the way I compare it is thinking about it as Gordy being a creature that was brought from its home in the jungle to be like to work and to just be put up and like used for things, but is forced to do stuff, but is immediately punished after breaking form of what he was supposed to do. He is an animal. He didn't know.
Exactly.
Like, that is just what he did, and people made up like, oh, well, now we have to kill this monkey, or like, and it was kind of like but Jean Jacket, I think, definitely represents white people.
Yeah.
Because think about it like this. This is how I wrote it. Jean Jacket goes to the ranch, shows up at a place, and just claims it as its own. It is its land now. They even say it's like, we're on its property now, right? That sort of deal.
He pisses on the house.
He does. Yeah.
He throws up or pisses on the house, and he eats the food and kills the people that live there, the natives, obviously, and then nobody stopped it. People just tried to like appease it until it was too late.
Also,
that's kind of how I read it.
Also, one thing is that a very small subtext of the movie is how the government knows that this is going on. And they're doing
what?
That. Yeah, the entire thing about how
that's true because the
whole valley
area
is
on Google
blocked
Maps
out
is
on Google Maps.
blurred.
So something has to know.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's one reason why you got to watch the movie over a few times. But
and there was the Daft Punk looking motherfucker.
Yeah. Anyways, but that's another thing is that the government obviously knows, and let me touch basis on, or at least tie into your thing. I watched a review earlier today on it about how it's specifically these African American people of color who do treat this animal with respect. So like, let's look at Jean Jacket less of like a white person in America and more like another token kind of thing, like how Gordy is exactly. And how Jean Jacket, not only the horse, but also, Keith David's character grew up in this Hollywood industry, and in his entire life, he was never given the respect that he deserved. And so the same with Gordy, same with Jupe's character, because he played an Asian stereotypical character in a kid sheriff show, and how they all were treated as token characters in Hollywood and stuff, and the only people who ever treat them with respect are other characters who are representations of, the minorities in America and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. That kind of makes sense, because even when you think about it, the only person that Gordy didn't attack was
Jupe. Exactly. That's one thing that I saw. That's exactly. That's
also, so this isn't about the messaging, but this is something I've said to everybody that will pretty much listen after the movie is I am so glad, as a obviously big fan of horror movies, I am so glad that someone has finally tapped in to our generation's immense fear of that one chimpanzee that ripped the lady's face off.
Yeah.
Because we're all scared of that. All of us heard the 911 call. All of us are terrified. My boyfriend is fucking petrified of chimpanzees. I can't even show him a silly little video of a chimp being swung around in a circle, because I'm like, see, look, they're nice. He's like, nah, fuck that.
I think we can definitely.
He was talking to me about that.
Yeah, I think we can definitely move on from the thematic richness of the movie, because it's really good. Go see it. Now we can move on to the horror aspect of the film.
If you're in the spoiler section, you've probably already seen it, unless you don't care.
Now we can talk about the horror aspect of the film.
Oh my god! I am one of the biggest complainers about modern horror. I think it's bad. I think across the board, Candyman near put me to sleep. Malignant made me laugh out loud in my theater. But, like, this actually felt good.
Yeah.
Bailey, you compared it in the theater after we watched it, because we all saw it together, by the way, which is a fun experience. You compared it to Jaws, which really fits, and which is why I think it fits so much as a summer blockbuster, where it starts suspenseful, is like people are like getting killed by it. It's like, what the fuck's going on? What is this big thing? We gotta kill it. Let's go hire this old grizzled man that knows how to kill it, and let's have him help kill it, even though he is going to get killed by it. Holy shit, this movie just ripped off Jaws.
Well, the thing is,
I thought it was just a theme, but no, when I think about it more,
I wouldn't say it ripped it off. I would just say it very much takes a good inspiration from it.
All
of like the cameras like pointing towards the sky, and like knowing there being something in there, but you can't see it, and just the camera like slowly following it.
But the thing is, with it being similar to Jaws, that's the thing, is that you don't realize it until somebody makes that connection for you, which is how I can tell a movie takes inspiration from another movie without blatantly being like, oh yeah, no, this is just that movie, but with a different spin on it or something like that.
Yeah. It's not like how the Lego movie is the exact same movie as The Matrix.
Yeah. Thinking about it, kind of, yeah.
Which I don't want to talk about too much, because in the future, I'm certain one of the movies I pick will be the Lego movie.
I want to ask you this. Lego. I feel like there's 3 specific scenes in the entire movie that most people will think of as the scariest one. And I want to ask you, this may be a difficult decision, which of the 3 scary scenes, I'll name them out for you in a second, are the scariest? There's one, there's the chimp scene, I believe, of Gordy actually
like beating the shit out of the
Yes,
family
yes,
on
exactly.
the
There's
show.
that
Yeah.
scene, which is amazing. There's the scene of the crowd of people at Jupe's Park, them being eaten and swallowed up by Jean Jacket and them getting squashed inside of its body, and like the
I didn't realize what that was
claustrophobia.
until about 30 seconds in, and I went, wait a damn minute. That's
Me
fucked.
neither the
Okay.
first time
Yeah,
around. And then the
it's-
third scene,
oh,
Yeah.
just
third
the
scene
noises.
is right after that when Jean Jacket is attacking the house, or just
And pissing.
basically
pissing on the
showing,
house,
showing this
You
is
think?
my territory.
Wait, you think those are the 3 scariest
I
scenes?
personally think those
I
three
think
are.
adding a 4th one maybe
Okay.
to that is like the fake aliens, because when you're first watching,
That
you're like,
was so
what is-
good!
That was really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
it's so
god!
good. You're like, what is that?
There's a Letterboxd review that said if this movie was just that scene where the kids scared Daniel
Yeah.
Kaluuya, I would have been fine, because that was shot so well. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
alien
it's
fucking
shot super
coming
well.
down.
I think
And
Yeah.
the noises, the
Like
Ugh.
he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And if Peele wants to just make a alien movie, like a silly alien invasion movie that isn't this one, I would be happy with it, because
By all
this man
means, go
apparently gets
ahead.
horror.
so. Yeah, which
but yes,
let me
those
touch
are
on the
the
third one
scary
just a
scenes.
little bit more. Just a little bit of. I think one specific thing that makes it scary is not only seeing like these things from the old other place getting ripped out of their ground and stuff and getting dropped, but also the blood and gore. You see bones dropping from the sky, and that's what I think is the most
Which is
scary part,
wild.
at least of that scene. So I want to know.
And also, we get the prettiest shot that I've
Oh,
seen in
of
a
just
long
the
time,
house
of just
covered
the
in
bloody
blood
house and the
the
smoke
sky. Oh
around it.
Speaking of,
beautiful.
the cinematographer
Yeah.
is the same guy who does Christopher Nolan's movies, which is crazy because this movie is so like colorful.
Beautiful
It's not. It's
cinematography.
not grayish.
This dude was probably like, he probably like grabbed Peele by the collar and said, "Thank you. I'm so done shooting gray action scenes where people say confusing words.
Exactly.
Thank you."
Oh, come on. I think actually Inception.
I mean, obviously Nolan's
has good
films are shot.
cinematography
They're
in
shot
there.
well. They're just very gray.
Yeah.
But which of those
But,
4 scenes would you think is the scariest?
Okay. It is the Gordy scene, I think, without a doubt.
I
The way it's I'm going to explain
Yeah,
myself,
go ahead.
because I think it is because of the tension. It builds up over the movie. You get the little hints, like it shows it at the start, just the shot of Gordy after everything, just kind of like sitting there, and when you see that, you don't realize you are in Jupiter's perspective,
Yeah.
right? You don't realize that you're watching from the same spot he is, and then like you slowly like pick up and you're like, oh shit, this is like, you don't realize how bad it was. But like the whole time after that, I was like, I really hope we see everything that happened, you know? I want to see what this guy did. Did he just kill the one lady? Was it way worse? And like the way, because imagine you are in that scenario and you are under the table and there is a killer chimpanzee letting loose on on all of your coworkers, right?
Yeah.
And when the chimpanzee comes like closer and like just
And, like,
breathes on him and like
breathes
Oh, yeah,
on the
no, it's
tablecloth,
Oh.
and he reaches his hand in, and like imagine you're like, oh fuck, he's about to just like
Yeah.
rip my face off, like
Yeah,
straight
man,
up
he
Nicolas
just
Cage
wants
style,
fisties.
take his
He wants
face
a nub.
off. But no, he just wanted a fist bump, and Jupiter left him hanging. Before you shoot him, let him dap the man up. All right. But yeah, I think it was Gordy because I thought it was just gonna be like seeing him like slamming the mom of the TV family.
Oh, yeah.
But when the dad tried to run away,
Oh.
and even better is how this shot starts, right? Because you don't start from Jupiter's perspective. It crawls.
Yeah.
It crawls in,
Like,
and you
the handheld
you
camera,
see it in
like
you see it in
someone
the corner.
tried
You
to
see blood in the corner.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And it's like almost like I want to go back just to watch that scene again because just the Gordy scenes put together could be the best horror short film I've ever seen.
I think I agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the way it's like a handheld camera makes it feel like you are being forced to go in and see if he's still mad or see if anyone's still alive. And you're like, how far has he gone? The only thing that took me out of the scene, which is something that probably was out of Peele's control, was the stock monkey sounds. The ones that if you buy like a toy of a monkey and you push the button, it goes like like that is just like stock sounds. But I think that scene was one of the most suspenseful scenes I've seen in a movie.
For sure.
Like, period.
Oh,
because you're like, I mean, obviously you don't know. I don't believe it shows you Jupiter for a little while, but you kind of slowly realize that you're under a table, and it's like, is this the little girl from that show as well? That was also another little comment about the Gordy scene is it's not in that scene, but at the show of the UFO, how it doesn't even need to show you the girl from the show. It's like, you know why she has a face covering and a shirt of her.
And then they do show her. And she looks
like a little bit.
Yeah, and she looks
not even all the way.
Scary.
It just blows up a little bit, and you see her mouth. Yeah. And it's like, we know. We saw what Travis the Chimp did way back when. Like, we know what's up.
The scariest thing movies can do is when they don't show you anything, and your mind has to create it. Yeah. You know, that's the scariest thing.
Science. Sorry.
Yeah, signs.
Sorry, I think I have something in my throat.
Before we get into
I'll
science,
clear it out later in the episode.
Before we get into science,
we're not to science yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
We're not to science yet. We all have to talk about. I was just
saying.
I will
foreshadowing.
clear my throat on that later.
Yeah, go ahead now, McKenna. What's the scariest scene for you?
What's your scariest scene?
Okay, well, the chimpanzee the chimpanzee is definitely up there. But I think the very first time when I was watching it, that claustrophobic getting smushed inside the UFO was awful. Just hearing all those noises and like people like screaming and you like seeing some blood but not quite realizing what's happening, because at that point in the movie I didn't quite actually, my aunt saw it with me the first time and she knew exactly like she knew from the very beginning that like it's eating people but I didn't know, and I was like, that's ridiculous. But just like it's sucking it up, the screams and the noise of like inflatable balloons just screeching together, it's awful. Yeah. And the best part is that right before it bleeds all over the house, they're screaming, right, and then it just crunches up, and then all the blood just down.
No, I think I specifically agree with you, Kenna, in that the second scene. I think we can tie the second scene in with the third scene because they obviously
like one
are
big
one,
event,
and then the next, and then they. One thing you do not realize until the second time around, each and every single time that you see Jean Jacket flying around, you can hear the screams of human beings. The sound it's making is screams. And that's part of what makes it terrifying is realizing that there's people in it and seeing stuff like that. And my first time watching it, I was obviously the claustrophobia scene. I don't even have claustrophobia.
But I mean, if you're getting,
I don't either. But it's still
like that scene,
put in an industrial shredder.
That scene made me feel trapped. Yeah, that scene made me feel trapped. And then afterwards, when you see the house and you can hear the screams, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" And then it shows you the picture of like they're all in like the bags or whatever, and then they just squish, and then the blood starts raining down, and it's like, holy shit! That just got real.
What's even more terrifying is that the second time watching it. Actually, the first time watching it, I was like, "Oh, that's just the sound the UFO makes." It's just like meow. It's done so well that you don't even realize it until you watch it suck up people and like horses and stuff. You're like, that's the sound of living beings in there screaming.
And that's why the horses scream so much. Like at the beginning, you're like, I've never heard a horse make that sound. Yeah, that's because the horse is getting crushed. It's not going to make that sound unless it's becoming glue. You know? Like, one thing one little thing I noticed, right, is I was thinking how Peele was thinking when he was like, let's make a movie, let's add horses. Yeah. Because the obvious like UFO trope is that they abduct cows. So you like just the farm animal getting abducted probably put it into your mind that they were just like, well, let's just take this cow and not let's fucking eat this thing. And it's like a creature eating, you know? Yeah. You don't think of aliens eating the cows. They probably just like study it and go, this is probably a human.
This is a cow.
Exactly.
Let's write this down in the human book, you know? But that's why I kind of noticed that is the kind of subversion of the trope of the cow getting abducted. By
that's one thing that happens most of Peele's previous films. I'm not going to spoil them. But they have these twists that shatter your expectations and stuff. This one does have a twist, but it's not like a thing. It's not like like expectation shattering twist. It's just like it makes you look at these past things in a new light and be like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Which I think is what makes it.
I wish that
so good.
Later in this episode we were going to talk about another movie from a director that's known for shattering
twisting.
And,
oh yeah.
Hopefully Peele doesn't Shyamalan himself. Please, God, Peele, don't Shyamalan yourself.
I love you, Mr. Peele. Just don't do that.
Okay, I love
Please don't Shyamalan or Taika yourself.
I love M. Night Shyamalan, but Avatar.
I think after we can all just say, Nope is very good.
Yes,
you should all watch it.
Yeah. I was trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say.
Actually, I do have one question for you guys because this has been on my mind ever since I first watched it.
Go off,
the Gordy scene, going back to it.
Yeah.
There's the shoe just standing up on itself.
You don't know.
I'm confused about that.
I personally want to talk about it because I've read so much stuff.
I just didn't understand why, but I was just like, it was probably just because. Because it's the
yeah.
same way in the exhibit too, right? Like
it's the same thing.
It is the same way in the exhibit, and the thing is, it's not for a specific reason. That's the thing. That's the entire thing of the point. That's the entire point of the shoe. The only thing that I can think of is that while he was in that scenario, and because he is a child, it's from his perspective, so he's just going to see things differently. But also maybe it's an idea that like this, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, traumatic experiences make good stories and stuff, but this could be like a way to display what terrific, horrible thing happened. No, yeah, that is a specific part of it, is that he idolizes the events and tries to make another thing.
What is seen in shadows is often mistaken in the mind of a child.
Because one thing that is touched on is how the one thing he says to Kiki and Daniel Kaluuya's character in near the beginning is he says Gordy went on a 6-minute, 13-second rampage, right? He says that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And afterwards, in the crowd scene when they're showing off the thing, he says he saw the alien for the first time 6 months ago at exactly 6:13 o'clock.
Oh.
Yes. So it's basically him trying to recreate that. Anyways, that's touching back onto the theme.
Hold on. you
I know.
Go see this movie again.
I know.
With a goddamn stopwatch.
I know. Okay.
I doubt it's actually that exact time. But could you imagine if I went in and I clocked it? Because in the scene, when the camera goes in, you hear the second it starts because you hear the balloon pop and you hear him freak out, and then you see the second it ends when Gordy is shot. Because could you imagine if Peele, the absolute mad lad, made it 6 minutes and 13 seconds?
That'd be crazy. Another thing with time is that Steve Yeun's character says, in about an hour, your life will be changed. And right from that moment, exactly, there's an hour left of the movie. That's also a cool thing with time that he did.
Really?
Yeah,
wow,
exactly.
Okay.
I know.
Cool.
Yeah. At least, I'm not exactly fully sure, but I did check, because I work at a movie theater. I checked recently, and as soon as that scene started, there was about an hour left of the movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, he really did it. Yeah.
And also, within an hour, their lives were changed. Changed to paste.
But touching on the shoe, so that we can get off of this movie, as much as we all love it, the shoe is specifically a touching of the theme of a bad miracle. Because as much as, like, the reason... Yeah, exactly. Steve Yeun's character...
Kaden just absolutely got blown away.
The reason... Another thing, like, obviously Gordy's thing of not attacking Jupe could be thematic. But another thing is that he did not look Gordy in the eye until Gordy came up to him and trusted him. He looked specifically at the shoe and was like... That's why he has it in the museum compared to any of the other clothes. That's why he idolizes it. It's right in the middle. He idolizes it. He feels like it saved his life or something. Who knows? Yeah. But that is the bad miracle that ended up, like, as much as it saved his life, it ended up getting, like, over 40 people killed with the alien and stuff. And see...
Because I was thinking, like, a miracle that the shoe landed as it did, right?
Yeah, that's the miracle.
Yeah, but what caused that to happen is the bat.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a good.
Absolutely disappears.
It's
from
such
reality.
a good movie because you can talk about it for hours and hours on end and still not
we
get
could.
old about it.
But speaking about bad miracles, what also is known as a bad miracle? A sign. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the timestamp.
This is
so
okay. Yeah, this is
welcome
where
back
the
to everyone
spoilers
that didn't want to hear
end.
spoilers. Sorry, you had to skip like a fucking half.
30
an hour
minutes at
podcast.
least. Yeah, exactly.
But so I saw the signs, and it opened up my eyes. I saw the signs. I've had that joke ready since you said that we were watching that movie.
Wow.
So yeah, good movie. Yeah, good movie. We watched Signs.
Personally, I'm very mixed on the movie.
Really?
Personally,
I love the movie.
I think it's funny because McKenna, you brought this movie to the table, right?
Yep.
You said you watched it as a kid, right? Which
Yep.
rude of your parents to show
What?
you this as a kid.
No, I loved
It's
it.
scary.
I was the
How
one who
young?
wanted to watch it.
How young?
As long as I can remember, I've loved this movie. In fact,
that's
for
a
my
bit
birthday
too
and stuff,
young.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, cause like that would have fucked me up seeing the alien at the birthday party in that shot. Like,
Yeah.
also I don't think anyone cares. This movie is 20 years old this year.
No.
Yeah, we're not gonna do spoilers for this one. We're not
Yeah,
gonna do spoilers for this one.
Yeah, but
it is
yeah.
funny thing is it is actually the 20th anniversary of this movie. At least the week of the 20th anniversary. Which
Is it really?
That's
It
crazy.
is.
Oh, yeah, that's right, you
happened-
said it to me.
It was Wednesday, I believe, which is really funny.
What a miracle!
What a sign! What a sign! Anyways, I want to hear y'all's thoughts on the movie, just
Okay.
because I personally don't want to go
Well,
off, but I just feel
yeah.
like I have less to say.
What I
Kaden,
was
you
saying
go
a second
first.
ago is, McKenna, you grew up with this movie, but I looked at our Letterboxd ratings. I gave it the highest rating out of all of us.
What
Oh,
did you
really?
give it?
Wait, no. Actually, I thought I gave it a 4.5, but I gave it a 4. I
Okay.
remember my review says I took away half a star for each dog that dies,
Oh
Fair.
my goodness.
which is true.
I gave
but
it.
that's
I gave
not
it a
why
4
I-
star.
Yeah, I thought you gave it a 4 and I gave it a 4.5, but it was a 4.5 until the end with the alien and him becoming a priest again. I
Yeah.
thought it was stupid how he became a priest again. Obviously, it makes sense.
It does.
I was like, why?
Me and
makes
you
sense.
both personally, I think, didn't really. I personally don't like Mel Gibson. He's a fine actor. Don't like him, but I think the character arc of another person regaining their faith has never been super interesting to me. Like, I get how
Yeah.
it can be interesting to some people, but personally, for completely personal reasons,
I
it's not.
enjoyed the movie so much because it was a story about a guy losing his faith and
Yeah.
why, and
Kinda, yeah.
like in the comparison of his son still having faith and him not having it anymore was kind of a cool dynamic.
It
But
was a
oh
cool
well.
dynamic. I agree.
Oh well, let's make him a priest again. Woo! Like.
I had a coworker who told me the same thing, that the reason that he doesn't like this movie as much is because he got out of it that, like, follow God and, like, pretty much he'll show you the right signs.
Yeah.
That's not at all what I got from it, personally.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
I understand that
I
it
wanna
is
hear
a
your-
story
yeah, I wanna
about
hear
a
your
guy.
thoughts.
Yes, I want to hear from you, McKenna, because you're the one who brought this to the table, obviously. I want to hear some of what you had to say.
It is a story about a guy who pretty much loses his faith and then gains it back throughout the movie, but he has those struggles, right? And, like, even watching videos about how the movie was made, they obviously delve into that, about this is a story with a man and God, pretty much.
Uh-huh.
But when I was little and stuff, what I got from it was that it doesn't have to be religious. Faith doesn't have to be religious. It doesn't have to be spiritual.
That's
It could
fair.
just be
Fair.
signs from higher up. Some
Yeah.
people might call it bad luck. Some people might call it coincidences, just like his conversation with Meryl about there are two different type of people. Ones who see signs or faith reasons, and ones who see coincidences. In fact, there's some people who might see, like, random things and take that as some sign from God, and other people might be like, that's just good luck. For me personally, I'm just like, it's just a sign, like you get those gut feelings sometimes. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good.
I have
That's
a
a
lot
good
of
way to look
notes
at it. Yeah,
on the movie,
I
yeah.
have a bit of stuff to say, but I'll keep it kind of towards the end because most of the stuff I have to discuss is about the end.
Can we, McKenna, when you edit this, can you cut this out? I have to go grab another Powerade real quick. I'm quite parched. 1 second.
Yeah, I might need to get water. I'll be back.
See, this is why I got water right here.
Did McKenna go to get a drink as well?
Yeah, she got water. Want to know something kind of funny? With McKenna's thing about looking at like signs and they could be from God. You haven't seen the new. You haven't seen the rehearsal yet with the new Nathan Fielder thing yet, have you?
I'm waiting till it's all out.
Okay, completely fair. I will say in the second episode, there's a character in the show whose entire character is just doing that, and I think that's a funny coincidence because I watched it a few days ago.
Since McKenna's probably gonna have to listen to this part. Hi, McKenna. If you're listening to this, Sonic is stupid.
Kaden,
I said it. You know what's even more stupid? Shadow.
You know what's even worse? Resident Evil.
That's too far.
Where were we?
Okay. Talking about science.
So yeah, I have a lot of notes. The scariest thing in this movie was Kathleen Kennedy's name in the opening credits. I also had no idea Joaquin Phoenix was in this movie, so that was a surprise to me. I was like, oh, it's the Joker, baby.
May I just say, as much as I will get memed on for loving Joaquin Phoenix, he's my boy. He is my boy. He's one of my favorite actors, and he does really good in this movie as well. He's my favorite part of the movie. Because he just portrays the wildness and, like, the craziness of this entire situation so well.
Yeah, they're, like, switching sides, going from, like, this is a bunch of nerd shit to this is a bunch of real shit. Like
Meryl is an icon.
Yeah.
He looks like my Uncle Todd. I don't know if my Uncle Todd listens to this podcast, but if he does, hey, Todd. So a lot of random notes that don't really make sense. One of my favorite scenes is when Joaquin Phoenix goes into that room with like the army general, and he talks like this, and he has a funny-looking mouth. He always has his mouth like...
I will say one thing. I think this movie does a really good job at being a comedy. Like,
oh yeah,
it's funny. It's funny, and I don't know why.
It has great parts.
Nothing's gonna stop us from enjoying this meal, so enjoy it! Stop crying! Best line. Made me laugh. But also, like, those scenes where, like, before dinner where he's like, whatever you want. Like, he knows that it could be their last meal.
The Last Supper kind of thing. Yeah. It was cool.
And it's really interesting and a really good scene.
Their dynamic... also, the dynamics, I think, between the characters is some of the strongest stuff that I've seen. And at least...
I don't know... Yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know what they put in the Culkin family household's food supply. All of the Culkins play the same character in, like, everything. The, like, deadpan, like, pretty, like, very mature for their age child or deadpan adult.
Yeah, I think me and you were thinking of the same one in Scott Pilgrim.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that Kieran?
Well,
that's Kieran Culkin, I believe, yeah.
Kieran Culkin.
Yeah.
How many Culkins are there?
There's like 5, I think.
Too many Culkins
I think
in the
3 or 4 of which have been in movies.
Yeah. There's one
a litter of Culkins comes every year.
Yeah.
There was one in the Waco, Texas show that I watched. He was really good.
Speaking of the acting, like we touched on Joaquin Phoenix, he does great. The Culkin kid, I don't know his first name. He does pretty good. Yeah. The little girl does really good, I think, as well.
Shockingly good. For
Mel Gibson, this might be personal bias, might not be. I really think his performance in this is really stale.
Really?
I don't agree.
I don't.
I think he plays a frightened father who had to talk to his wife as she was dying.
Let me pull back.
It's all his eyes.
Let me pull back.
It's his eyes,
Let me pull back partially.
Please run that back.
He doesn't... Okay, in every scene that he's talking with another human being... He does great. In every single scene that he's talking to one of these fictional aliens or that he's just by himself, he's surprised. He's like, I don't know, he just seems stale.
Are you kidding me?
I don't blame...
One of the best parts is when he's boarding up a window and, like, you see him look outside and you don't see what's outside or anything, but just his face of just fear, and then him walking away,
Okay.
you're like,
I think just the way he delivers. I think just the way he delivers dialogue in those scenes when he's like out in the cornfield and talking to the aliens. I think it just wasn't my preferred style. But then again, that might be personal bias because I'm not the biggest fan of Mel Gibson.
Really? I think it's great. I think it's great when he's delivering dialogue to the alien in the pantry, and he's like, it's me, the police.
Hello. We got your friends in the paddy wagon.
Another thing, I'm not sure if I like M. Night Shyamalan's style of writing. I have a note about that. I've only seen 3 films of his, and like even Sixth Sense, which is supposedly his biggest, I wasn't the biggest fan of. Which might be personal, but
even his best movies will have a moment where you come crashing down and are splashed in the face with a bucket of M. Night Shyamalan movie. Ha! Where, like, the army general's like, you're good at baseball. You should be having ladies licking your toes. Like, what the fuck?
What was that line? What was that line?
For me, in this...
Yeah, there's just moments like everyone...
M. Night might have a little bit of competition, or Quentin Tarantino might have a bit of competition when in the foot fetish category.
Foot thing. That was like a tip of the hat to
in this
Tarantino.
film, for me, the line that's ridiculous is like when him and like the cop are in the cornfields, and he's like, "Shh, don't call me father. I can't hear my children."
Yeah, I can't hear my children is honestly kind of a good.
It's a good line. It's just
There's moments because think about it later in the movie, right? When the alien is in the house, guess what you don't hear right before it happens?
The children. Yeah.
The children.
I think only thing with it's more of the don't call me father, because like I feel there would have been a better way to do that rather than because like earlier in the scene he doesn't want to take the dog who just peed on the floor. He doesn't want to take him to the vet. I got this from the video you sent us, Caden. He doesn't want to take him to the vet because the vet was the person who killed his wife. That's a really good
don't even
piece of writing.
Right?
No, they don't say that.
They never say it. They just
but that's
show
a
in his
really
mailbox.
good. That's an amazing piece of writing. But then the "Don't call me father" scene is just it calls it out too much, and it's like I feel like there would have been a better way of having him just like flinch after her calling him father or something like that. I'm not sure, but the rest of this thing, I think this is much better written than Sixth Sense and Avatar: The Last Airbender, which are the only other two Shyamalan movies I've seen.
You haven't seen The Village?
Nope.
I haven't seen The Village. Does no one have Adrian Brody?
Yeah.
Nice. We might have to watch it.
You haven't seen?
Of course you would know
Unbreakable?
that.
Or any of the
you haven't seen
trilogy?
Unbreakable?
What is
No,
wrong with
I
you?
know, I'm
Glass?
crazy.
That's
I know, I'm crazy.
Really
I need
good
to.
one.
I know.
I feel like you would be a split person.
Probably, yeah. But I think we can all agree this film does really good building up tension, I believe.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say is with alien movies kind of across the board, nothing is, to me, what makes a good alien movie is the slow learning of the alien's rules. Because every alien in every movie has different rules.
Yeah.
Like in Nope, it's if you look at the ship, right? In in Predator, it's if you have weapons and are attacking it, right?
Also, the heat vision.
The heat vision. It's like the slow learning of, okay, this is what the alien does. I didn't like how M. Night Shyamalan was like, they don't go near water. They probably don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm winking. I'm winking to the Discord call. Nobody can see it, but I'm giving a big old wink because that's basically what he was doing.
Like, the other rest of the stuff of tension building and stuff, that one was really good. And, like, seeing it slowly invade, that was really good. But then the last 15, 20 minutes really just brung it down a lot.
Shouldn't have shown the alien.
No.
It should have been implied.
It should have only been...
really cool to have it just be in reflections and implied. Like,
and
maybe
in the birthday thing.
Yeah, and in the birthday thing. That would have been perfect. Or
also,
have the
alien.
Be like
I'm glad I'm not the only one who didn't like the alien actually showing up, because also the alien design just sucks. The alien design of it really sucks.
And the CGI just isn't the
CGI
greatest.
is not good either.
I mean, it's 2002.
Makes
cut
sense.
Him a little slack, but
yeah, I do.
I think
but
you're
the design
right.
just
when because there's two things. I was actually talking to my dad about this earlier. Hi, Dad. He listens. But he was talking about, because I was like, I love how it shouldn't have shown the alien, but I liked the tension that was there when it didn't show it. And we talked about two examples in particular, Alien and Stranger Things Season 1, where you don't know what the Demogorgon is, what it looks like, you just know it's lurking. It's somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And it builds up this tension, and then when they show you the design, it is a great design, right? But, like, it's the same thing with Alien, right? It's like, it's on the ship. How is it on the ship? It's slowly growing. It's picking off people one by one. Ooh, ooh. And then it shows it, and it's an amazing, one of the best creature designs in history. But this, it was like, oh my god, what is this alien? What is it? It's so scary that, like, people are petrified when they look at it. Like, and the lights in the sky, by the way, great detail. I love that. Don't show me a UFO. The lights in the sky, perfect. But, like, just, it shouldn't have shown the alien design if you weren't going to have a good alien design. Because it straight up looked like Howard the Alien.
Did you know that, I think the alien, the lights in the sky were, what's the word?
Practical?
Inspired.
Saddle.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that the lights in the sky, were inspired by actual, like, real-life events?
Yeah.
Back in
Arizona
and
I didn't know,
Nevada?
but I could assume. Yeah.
Yeah, back in a while ago in Arizona and like Nevada area, they saw like these lights like taking up like a V shape and like just going through those states, and like tons of people saw it.
Yeah.
But
Area
yeah,
51.
I think it takes inspiration from that.
I think looking at alien designs of like all pop culture, I feel like there's never been a really bad alien design that I've seen until this movie. Personally, because like at least the big ones, because I haven't seen Alien, but I know of the design. There's that one. There's Predator. Nope. There's what are some other Alien movies? There's just
Invader Zim, Into the Floor.
exactly
The
Invader
Thing,
Zim.
even the
Thing.
thing who
The Thing
doesn't
has-
have an
oh.
actual
I love The
exact
Thing.
form, but it's still iconic.
I just
and
realized
Yeah,
I can
it's
I can
pretty cool.
include that into my Alien week. I love that.
Yeah,
Because I just watched
The
it.
Thing.
Yeah.
Oh, The Thing.
I was deciding whether or not I wanted to include it in Caden's horror month, because I have a
Fair.
bunch of the movies, because I get 5 weeks of spooky.
Yeah.
So I get to
But
force
back
you
on
guys to
back
watch
on
whatever
this
I say.
design, I do
Yeah.
like the claw. The claw is kind of cool, but like the
That
rest
was
of it
cool.
just
And how it
the
changes
rest of
color.
it just looks like a human, but gray and then big black eyes, and it's like
Well, did you
that's
know
so
that,
uninteresting.
Alien is
Did
It's
you know?
just
So like,
nothing
they
creative
actually
of
got
it, I don't think.
female models and like just used them as like
Really?
the way like the way that they moved and stuff. But then they decided that it was too
Okay.
feminine. In like the last shot, they actually just got a male model.
these aliens are for the dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good details. I'm trying to see if
I do like. I don't personally. I will say, I don't personally like the twist of the aliens being the like. I get the entire thing of like the signs and all that stuff, and nothing being a coincidence, but you could have ended it before the water. Or just I just don't like the water stuff, and it's.
But if you didn't
it's
include
so-
the water, then you couldn't have the line, "There's a monster outside my room, can I have a glass of water?" And then it's like, whoa, because that's how she's good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it feels like
the
Joaquin Phoenix
foreshadowing-
hitting you over the head with his big, good bat the whole time. It's like,
Exactly.
look at all the water. Hey, she doesn't like water. She's going to leave water all over.
That's
Huh?
one thing I
Huh?
noticed.
I'm M. Night Shyamalan. I wrote Stuart Little. Like, that's just what it felt like the whole
That's
movie.
one thing I noticed in Sixth Sense as well, is like knowing the twist of that movie, the foreshadowing just hits you on the head, and it's like, okay, I get it. Yeah, no, I get
Yeah.
it. I'm good.
Sometimes though, he does do it tastefully.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say the twist in Unbreakable because you haven't seen it yet, Bailey. But or for Split or for Glass. Oh, that one's the best twist of that trilogy.
Yeah.
I think that one's really good. But they're all like, you don't notice it and then it's like, ooh.
Yeah, and then, I've never been the fan of his twists or how he foreshadows
Split doesn't
them.
really have a twist, by the way, so I don't get people telling me. Split doesn't really have a twist as much as it has a cool reveal. And the cool reveal is that it's in the same universe as Unbreakable.
Well, yeah, I do know
you
that.
Knew that.
I
so,
know that.
Everyone knew that.
Yeah.
After, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah. McKenna, do you have any more thoughts? Because this is your movie, and I feel like me and Bailey are just chatting up a storm over here. So.
I don't know. Did you know that the scene with the party, like the birthday party, and that stuff? That's apparently one of the top 100 scariest scenes by movie critics.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
It's very. I will say that scene is really good. That scene's probably the best scene in the movie.
One of the best ways of showing the terror or the kind of fear of the population is when it shows the news people, the anchors being like,
Oh yeah, no. My favorite trope in media
cool.
is when news people are scared, because I watched
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield. I watched I watched, I think last month, another great alien movie, and that one also shows a little bit of the news people being shocked and stuff. So good. That's my favorite trope in media.
And
M.
Night Shyamalan recorded that too, just with his hand camera.
Ooh.
He himself recorded that whole scene.
Makes sense. I love how perfect the kids were in that scene blocking it, because I was like, move! But then immediately after Joaquin Phoenix was like, move! And I was like, thank you, this guy gets it.
Vámonos,
this guy gets it. That was so great. One thought I had during the movie, I had a lot of random thoughts, but I was like, this little girl reminds me of myself, where I don't drink water either. I also saw a lot of myself in the Aliens, where if I drink water, I will die, so I have to drink Powerade. But could you imagine if the little girl found Olive Garden water? She would never have gotten any other water, because that's the perfect water.
My family used to make fun of me because I left glasses of water around. Just because, I'd forget about them. They'd be like,
and they were like,
you're both.
I even was talking to my friend Elijah last night, because he had seen the movie, and I told him about that, and he goes, my family always makes that joke whenever I leave glasses around. I'm like, it's funny that's a common thing now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is,
my family, whenever we go into, a corn maze, we have to make, the clicking noises, the...
The sounds! Oh, my God.
Yeah,
the sound design is really good.
The sound design is so good.
What alien movie doesn't have good sound design, to be completely honest?
True. The way you can hear them going through every room in the house.
Oh, that one was so good. That's another great scene.
I was really distracted by what the fuck is going on when the lights went out in the basement. But I bet if you listen, you can tell everything that happens in that scene.
Oh yeah. That's one of my favorite shots, is just watching
the flashlight.
The flashlight as it rolls around as they're freaking out.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh,
and then it's
good.
almost foreshadowed when Mel Gibson drops the flashlight in the corn.
Oh yeah.
And it breaks. Yeah.
Another great scene is when they have the baby monitor for the first time, and all of them are touching each other.
Oh
that scene apparently took forever
really cool.
to get right.
I think
also Chris Stuckman pointed it out. Shout out to Chris Stuckman, who I thought of this whole time, because he's a film reviewer on YouTube. Obviously, highly recommend.
He's great. He's making his own film soon. I'm so excited to watch it.
We're gonna review that, by the way.
Oh yeah, totally. Shelby Oaks, yeah.
Yeah. So he made a point in his video. We watched a YouTube video. I think we all watched it. I know Bailey, you said you watched it.
I did, yeah.
He broke down everything in the movie, because he's obviously obsessed with it. The only time that the baby monitor picked up alien noises was when they were all touching each other.
Or at least when it got the best signal. But yeah.
Yeah.
And that scene
it was
really
only
cool.
when they were all touching each other on the car when it activated.
Yeah.
And when they're all hugging at the table, that's when it would activate. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Family.
I think...
You know what I actually noticed? I had to go back too to just see again, but on the first scene when he opens the door and he goes out, the very first scene, the very time you see Graham, he opens the door and you see the outline of the old cross or whatever. And then at the very end, I was expecting to just see the cross again. There's no cross there. You want to know what it is?
What?
It's pictures of his family.
Oh.
Yo.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good. God, remember when M. Night Shyamalan was good at movies? I don't. I wasn't born yet when this movie came out. But still, in retrospect, Yeah.
Looking at this movie, it's very strange looking at him now, especially. Overall, I think this movie's really good in parts, and then like it's really good until I'd say the last 15-20 minutes, and then I'm like, eh.
I agree.
But like,
yeah, that's when it went from a 4.5 to a 4 for me.
That's when it went from a 4 to a 3.5. But still, good movie.
There are moments in that last scene where I just absolutely love.
I do love the TV reflection. That's a really good part.
Well, M. Night Shyamalan is like famous for his reflections and stuff, of course.
Yeah.
But when Morgan's like dying or whatever, I think Chris talked about this in his video, but like you like hear his voice, but it doesn't pan to him automatically. It goes to like each family member and their reactions, and it finally gets to him.
Yes, that's good shit. Yeah.
So touching. Yeah. Wow. Well, that was a good conversation.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that movie up.
I would. Watch it. I don't think I ever would have watched this movie if not, honestly.
Oh, good. I'm glad you guys did. I feel like there are some problems with it. There's plot holes and stuff, but I think overall it's a good one. Just the way it's presented, the directing, I think is really well, and I think you can learn a lot from it.
Yeah. For sure. By the way,
the script and really good script too. I gotta say, there were some moments that were bad, but across the board, really competent script, honestly.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting story.
It is, yeah. It's definitely a very much real take of how both this and Nope, I will agree, are such great takes on how different types of people would interpret and react to aliens and that kind of stuff. And I love watching people react to different stuff, and it's such a cool
Hold on 1 second. One category accepts it automatically and wants to film it, while the other category denies it and won't even want to get by it and everything. And that's pretty much the signs and Nope.
Yeah. I just love seeing different takes on different types of people in America. It's awesome. By the way, with all of our audience, if you ever want to watch any of our movies, we're not exactly sure where to stream them or whatever, but if you ever have a hand on any of these movies, if they're ever on any streaming services, we'd love to hear your conversations in the comments.
Oh yeah.
Tweet it at us.
We have a Twitter account. Respond. We have a Twitter, if you type the Twitter,
I think it's just at Hyperfixnation. But yeah, we'll have it.
You can tweet at us. We'll have conversations in the comments if you want, because we're pretty vocal, honestly.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But
yeah,
talking about movies is one of my favorite things to do.
We'd love to hear any of y'all's thoughts on the weekly movies, on whatever movies we've watched recently.
When you watch it, tweet it at us. I'd love to hear.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of weekly movies, Bailey, it is your turn.
It's my turn.
Tell us what I have to watch the night before our next recording.
I already know, thankfully, just because it's not in my favorites. I don't know why it's not in my favorites, but it's one of my favorite films of all time. It's Prisoners.
Okay.
Prisoners.
I think it's it was a 2014 is when it was released. It's on Hulu. It's directed by Denis Villeneuve. Great movie. Starring Hugh Jackman. I know that's gonna.
Denis Villeneuve.
Too bad, Kaden. I picked it.
He makes slow, boring movies that I never watch.
You'll like this one, I think. So that's
Doesn't
the
this one
weekly.
have Paul Dano in it?
It does. My other boy, my other boy. Yeah. Anyways, that's the weekly movie of this week.
Okay, right. Prisoners, you said?
Prisoners on Hulu for free.
Never seen it. I'm excited.
Yes, well, I'm excited because I know very little about this movie.
Yes, I will say this, if any of our audience watches it, same with Nope. Go in with knowing as little as possible.
Yes, there's a reason we dictated spoilers for Nope, by the way. Because I don't want anyone to have any amount of spoilers. The only thing I tell people is that there's aliens in it and there's a silly little chimpanzee in it, and that's
exactly
all I tell people.
Yeah.
But all right,
no
Prisoners
spoilers,
next week.
Anything. Yep.
Well,
we'll talk about it.
Thank you again to everyone that's been listening.
Yeah, thank
Bailey,
you.
McKenna, do you have anything you guys want to plug?
Let's see. I have two different things to plug. I have my Twitter, which is at mmrebels08. And then I also have my Letterboxd, if any of you have Letterboxd.
Ooh,
by the way, anyone who listens to our podcast and really likes talking about films, get this app. It's called Letterboxd. It's basically just a film reviewing site. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But
if you're listening to this, you probably already know about it and have one. But
my account that I want to plug on that is ColeBO8. That's it.
Mine is just Kaden Does Things. No spaces. Just Kaden Does Things. My picture is Heimlich from Bug's Life. Maybe I'll make you guys watch Bug's Life.
Mine, I think, is Ravekin. It has a picture of Tobey Maguire.
So thank you guys for listening. Watch Prisoners before next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we'll see you around.
Later.
And also,
I
want a podcast catchphrase. You guys agree?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
We need a catchphrase. So I don't have any ideas.
Let's get hyper.
If anyone out there has a good podcast catchphrase that they want to let us have, and you will see no compensation, please let us know.
You'll get a shout out. You'll get a shout out.
We'll shout you out. There you go.
All right,
and
see you.
All right. Well, see you guys around.
Toodaloo.
Or whatever.